Have you ever walked into a room and without even realizing it, a strange feeling washed over you? Often this discomfort comes from a detail that goes unnoticed, that so-called old person smell. Contrary to what many people think, this smell isn't inevitable, nor does it have to be accepted as part of aging. In fact, it can be almost completely eliminated if you know where to focus. Today we're going to reveal which secret areas accumulate these odors and how a simple cleaning can bring back the feeling of freshness to your home, your clothes, and even your skin. Before we get to this important information, it's worth remembering that small gestures make a big difference. If this content has already sparked your curiosity, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and give us a like, because we're going to share many practical tips that can transform your day-to-day life in a light and accessible way. Now, get ready to discover something that may seem obvious after you know it, but that most people never imagine when they feel this common discomfort. Many believe that the old person smell comes only from the natural aging of the body, but the reality is a little different. Researchers have discovered that this specific odor is linked to compounds released by skin oxidation, accumulated product residue, and especially by areas neglected in personal and domestic cleaning. It's not enough just to take a shower and put on perfume. There are specific areas that, when they don't receive adequate attention, become constant sources of these odors. And the most surprising thing is that the solution is much simpler than it seems. One of the most critical and frequently forgotten areas is the back of the ears. This small space accumulates natural skin secretions, hair product residue, and environmental particles. When it's not cleaned regularly, it becomes a powerful source of the unpleasant smell that many associate with age. The good news is that cleaning is extremely simple. Using a soft cloth or a damp washcloth with a little mild soap is enough to remove excess residue and prevent the formation of the odor. Small daily care makes a difference that you feel and the people around you also notice. Another secret area that contributes strongly to this problem is the scalp area, especially near the nape of the neck. Even for those who wash their hair regularly, the scalp can accumulate oil, sweat, and dead cells, creating a perfect environment for persistent odors. A good massage during washing, focusing mainly on this area, is essential to ensure that residues are eliminated effectively. Choosing a gentle but deep cleaning shampoo also helps to maintain the skin's balance and avoid the characteristic smell. The armpits, although obvious, are often treated inadequately. Just using deodorant doesn't solve the problem if there isn't efficient cleaning. Deodorant works by masking the odor, but residues of sweat, dead cells, and products can accumulate, intensifying the problem over time. Therefore, adequate hygiene, with attention to the complete removal of residue, is essential. In addition, a light exfoliation once a week can renew the skin in the area, decrease the production of odorous compounds, and prolong the feeling of freshness for much longer. Skin folds, such as those that form on the neck, elbows, and behind the knees, also deserve special attention. These areas, being warmer and more humid, favor the accumulation of sweat and the proliferation of bacteria, which contributes directly to the unwanted smell. Cleaning these areas carefully during bathing, drying them very well, and applying a light moisturizer can prevent the problem. On very hot days, or when there is excessive sweating, the use of neutral talcum powder can help to keep the area drier and free of odors without harming sensitive skin. Another critical point, often ignored, is the feet. Even in people who don't have problems like foot odor, the feet can concentrate odors that, over time, permeate the environment and even the shoes. This happens especially when the care routine is neglected. Washing well between the toes, drying completely after bathing, and alternating the shoes worn daily are simple actions that prevent the formation of bad smells. An extra tip is to leave the shoes in ventilated places and, if possible, use insoles that absorb moisture, prolonging the feeling of freshness. Everyday clothing, especially those that come into direct contact with the skin, also need to be the target of attention. Often, even after washing, residues of sweat and hygiene products remain in the fibers of the fabric, feeding bacteria and generating persistent odors. Therefore, it's essential to wash clothes with good quality soap and ensure an efficient rinse. Drying the clothes in the sun whenever possible also helps to eliminate fungi and bacteria. For more delicate clothes, the use of white vinegar in the washing can be an effective and natural solution to neutralize odors. Many don't know, but upholstered furniture and curtains in the house can also be silent sources of the old person smell. Over time, these fabrics absorb particles of sweat, smoke, dust, and even grease from the environment, creating a combination that feeds unpleasant odors. Regular cleaning with a vacuum cleaner, preferably with special filters, and periodic washing of covers and curtains are essential to maintain freshness. Small habits like leaving the windows open for air circulation also help to renew the environment and prevent the impregnated smell from intensifying. Another little talked about secret is the importance of taking care of closets and drawers. These spaces, if closed for a long time, accumulate moisture and favor the proliferation of fungi and bacteria, which also contribute to the characteristic odor. An effective practice is to clean the interiors regularly with a cloth slightly dampened in white vinegar, diluted in water, which helps to disinfect and neutralize odors. In addition, keeping small bags of activated charcoal or pieces of chalk inside the cabinets absorbs moisture and preserves the pleasant smell of clothes and stored objects. Oral hygiene also plays an important role and is often underestimated. Inadequate cleaning of the mouth can release compounds of strong odor, which over time even impregnate the breath and clothes of those who live daily with this problem. Brushing teeth correctly, using dental floss, and cleaning the tongue are basic but extremely necessary care. For those who use dentures, it's essential to clean them properly every day with specific products, avoiding the formation of bacteria and fungi that contribute to persistent odors and the unpleasant feeling when talking or smiling. In addition to personal hygiene, the mattress where we sleep daily is one of the main culprits for maintaining odors in the environment. The body releases sweat and dead cells during sleep, which accumulate in the fabric over time. To prevent the old person smell from settling in, it's important to vacuum the mattress regularly, expose it to the sun whenever possible, and use washable protective covers. These small actions prolong the life of the mattress and keep the environment healthier and more pleasant, contributing to more peaceful nights of sleep and a house free of annoying odors. The bathroom is another place that requires constant care. A superficial cleaning isn't enough because hidden areas such as drains, tile corners, and under sinks accumulate moisture and residues that feed mold and bacteria. To keep the environment fresh, it's important to perform deep cleanings regularly using effective disinfectant products. In addition, keeping the bathroom ventilated and dry is crucial. The use of fabric rugs should be reconsidered as they accumulate moisture easily. Opting for rugs of washable and quick-drying material is a smarter and more practical choice. Even personal objects, such as bags, wallets, and hats, can contribute to the old person's smell when they're stored for a long time without use or adequate cleaning. Leather, fabric, and other materials absorb odors from the environment and skin, which intensify over the years. Cleaning these pieces periodically, storing them in ventilated places, and avoiding the accumulation of unnecessary old objects are habits that make a difference. Keeping what is actually used and in good condition helps to create a lighter and more pleasant atmosphere both inside the house and in social life. Another little considered point is the hygiene of hearing aids and glasses. These items, when used daily, accumulate residues of skin, sweat, and environmental pollution, which can contribute to discreet but persistent odors. Regular cleaning with appropriate products not only preserves the durability of the devices, but also prevents the formation of unpleasant odors. A simple practice, such as cleaning the temples of glasses and the parts of hearing aids daily with a slightly damp cloth, already brings visible results and improves the feeling of freshness throughout the day. The same care applies to electronic devices for personal use, such as remote controls, landline phones, and cell phones. These objects are in constant contact with our hands and the environment, accumulating invisible dirt that over time can generate discrete odors and even harm health. Cleaning these devices weekly with a soft cloth dampened in an alcohol solution is a simple habit that prevents the accumulation of bacteria and fungi, ensuring not only the preservation of the devices, but also a cleaner, safer, and more pleasant environment to live in. Armchairs in continuous use, especially older ones, are true odor magnets, especially when they don't receive adequate maintenance. Fabric seats absorb sweat, skin residues, and odors from the environment, which can turn comfortable furniture into a constant source of bad smells. Therefore, whenever possible, use removable and washable seat protectors. Performing periodic dry cleanings or hiring specialized services for upholstery cleaning are investments that prolong the life of the furniture and preserve the freshness of the house. Bedding, especially pillows, also deserves special attention. Even if pillowcases are changed weekly, pillows accumulate sweat, dead cells, and dust mites that, over time, generate characteristic odors. Washing the pillows periodically, following the manufacturer's instructions, and letting them dry completely in the sun are practices that renew not only the aroma, but also the feeling of cleanliness of the room. Using washable protective covers is also an efficient strategy to prolong the life of the pillows and preserve respiratory health. Another powerful habit to eliminate the old person smell is the purification of indoor air. Ventilating all rooms in the house daily is a basic but often neglected step. Stagnant air accumulates particles of dust, mold, and organic compounds that contribute to the odor. Whenever possible, leave the windows open for a few hours, allowing the natural renewal of the environment. The moderate use of air purifiers or diffusers of neutral essential oils can also help to maintain freshness, as long as they don't only serve to mask odors already impregnated in furniture and objects. Even small details, such as the care of rugs and carpets, make a big difference. These items, being constantly in contact with the traffic of people, accumulate dirt, dust, and invisible particles that end up reinforcing the characteristic smell of old environments. Performing frequent vacuuming, washing the rugs from time to time, and, whenever possible, opting for easy-to-maintain versions are practices that collaborate to keep the air purer. Fair, clean, and ventilated environment not only eliminates the old person smell, but also makes the house more welcoming and comfortable. It's also important to review the objects stored in boxes, chests, or closed cabinets for a long time. Books, old papers, photos, and stored clothes can accumulate dust and moisture, which generate strong and persistent odors. A good practice is to review these items at least twice a year, clean what is possible, and donate or discard what is no longer useful. Keeping only what really matters brings lightness to the environment and prevents the old person's smell from settling in silently. The intelligent organization of the house directly reflects the feeling of freshness of the day-to-day. For those who wish to further reinforce the elimination of odors, an effective strategy is to create a simple yet consistent weekly care routine. It's not necessary to perform big cleanings every day, but small habits accumulated throughout the week make all the difference. Setting aside a few minutes to ventilate the environments, review the most critical areas, and sanitize objects of continuous use creates a constant feeling of renewal. More than removing odors, these cares bring a positive impact on the quality of life and self-esteem, reinforcing a healthy environment. If you've made it this far, you already know that the old person smell isn't something inevitable, nor does it need to be part of your home. With small attitudes and attention to detail, it's possible to eliminate 99% of this problem in a simple and natural way. If you like these tips and want to receive more content that improves your well-being and quality of life, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and give us a like. Also, share this video with someone you think can benefit from this information. A clean and welcoming environment starts with conscious choices and care that make all the difference.